On today's podcast, we're going to talk about being a business owner with a crazy busy life, with 4 kids, sports, an amazing wife, and everything involved around it. How do you stay organized and get things done? I'm not perfect, but this is my story.
This isn't just any podcast. This is your secret weapon for dominating the market.
This is the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast, and this is your host, Sean McMeen.
Welcome to Restoration Marketing Secrets. I am your host, Sean McMeen, and today's episode is episode number 29 of Restoration Marketing Secrets. And today we're going to talk about being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, while you have a busy life. Let me just first off by say, I am no better than anybody else out there. I have a lot of faults myself, but I just want to share my journey here and my story. And maybe you'll take some insights to it. Maybe you'll say, get lost, and I don't give a crap what you have to say. And that's okay too. But one of the things that I love about my journey is that it's not perfect. I've made many mistakes along the way, but it all revolves around one central premise, that everything I do is to provide for my family. And it is a difficult balance when you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner. Myself, I own a marketing agency, and we have clients all across the country. I have a team of about 12 people and growing that are amazing people, by the way. But it all starts with my why, my family, and my 4 kids, my wife, Shelly. And it is the reason why I do the things that I do. But there's a real life scenario here that comes into play, is that when you're an entrepreneur and business owner, you have a lot on your plate, a lot of stresses running the business. And even though your why is the reason why you might be doing this, and for me it's my family, the reality is that it is difficult sometimes to balance it all. And as a male, we tend not to talk about it too much because we internalize and just suck it up, buttercup, and move on, right? And sometimes it can be overwhelming. But at the end of the day, how do I stay organized? How do I keep things together when I can? And sometimes things slip, things happen. There's many times that I might have something to do in the business, my team is relying on me, but my life is too busy, and sometimes I'm the boss and I can let it go. Like I can choose to do that. But it's not easy. It's not easy, especially when you're juggling multiple things in your life. And for those that don't have 4 kids, that's completely fine. You might have 1, you might have none, and you still find it difficult to juggle everything involved with it. But this, again, is my journey and my experience. How do I stay organized? Well, the overall underlying principle here is that you have to figure out a way that works for you. I'm a very visual person. And by that I mean, when I was in college, all the way through my bachelor's degree and master's degree, I was a very visual. I would take pictures and memorize things. That's just how I worked. And so I have to see it. I have to see it to stay organized. And so one of the things that has helped me over the years is having a Google Calendar. And because it's electronic and I live off my phone and my computer, it is the thing that keeps me organized. And I put everything in there. I put not only work meetings, but personal meetings. I have separate calendars for me and my wife, Shelly. I have separate calendar for my 2 older kids that are from a previous marriage. And the reason why that works is because we have a Google Calendar. And we stay organized and stay focused on the kids and less about the drama then, which there is none. So, and the reason why there is none is because we're able to stay organized, and Google Calendar is the key to this. It truly is. And so if you do not have some sort of mechanism to keep you organized, I highly recommend you look into Google Calendar or some sort of calendar that is with you at all times. So that way you get alerts, you get text message alerts, email alerts, and you can plan your day around it. There are many books out there that talk about time blocking, and it's something you can do to help you get things done. If you're like me, you have a tendency to respond and fight fires. So let's say you're out on the job site, something comes up, you have to jump from one job to the next job to the next job. And, it can be overwhelming. So, the difficulty is you can't do it all. And you have to be accepting of the fact that you're not perfect and that you're going to make mistakes along the way. But you're trying to make incremental improvements along the way. One of the things that we are in the process of implementing in my business is EOS, Entrepreneur Operating System. And we're going to be, we have been doing one version of this in the past that was what's called the L10 leadership meeting, or level 10 leadership meeting. And as your company grows, you're going to have leaders that are going to step up, and sometimes you have leaders that you assign that are in the wrong seat once you get further along the journey, and that's okay. It happens. But you do need to have, as your company grows, you need to have a leadership team to help you not make all the decisions. And so that's one of the other things that helps me keep things organized. As I'm juggling my personal life, I have a leadership team within my company that helps me make decisions where I don't have to be involved in every single decision, and things move forward. And so that has been extremely successful. And as you continue to work with your team, what you find is that the leaders rise up and they have a passion for what you're doing. And I'm lucky enough to have several people on my team that just really help me get things through the finish line and have that passion, and they have my trust, and at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect as a business owner and the leader on the team, and I'm not expecting them to be perfect, but it helps move things forward. So back to the original topic here, how do I keep things going when I have 4 kids? I have a leadership team on my company. I have EOS that I'm implementing in my company, and we're going to do a podcast episode about EOS. I'm going to have Lynn, our integrator. Integrator. It's integrator. I don't remember exactly what it is, but he's going to be on here talking about EOS and how it can help any small business move forward and help that owner move things forward by integrating EOS into their system, into their business. And it works for any type of business, whether it's retail, whether it's home services, whether it's water damage, home roofing, whether it's a marketing company like myself. And so as I stand here talking on September 24th at 11:22 p.m., because I am doing a 365-day podcast challenge, I had a full weekend, and I had to take my daughter to Springfield, Illinois, because she dances. I had to drive back. I had multiple trips related to that. I had things that I was doing outside. It's fall season here in St. Louis, and it's just a lot. It's a lot. And again, I'm not complaining by any means, but it's a lot to stay organized. And one of the big tools is having that Google Calendar. So that's how I stay organized. One of the big, for me personally, having an amazing wife that, does those things, those unsung hero things that are truly heroes that I see in my life, is the things that keep the house running, right? And she always makes fun that she's not a cook, and neither one of us are. But she does so many other amazing things, and that she doesn't always get thanked for, or that you don't always see. But I see it, and you know, I probably should say thank you much more often. You know, and then you got the kid side of things. And if you don't have kids, you know, it is my why, but that's just what I'm sharing with you. But the kids side of things, they see dad. I know they see dad working hard and working long hours sometimes. And again, it's 11:20 something at night here. They're all in bed, but I have to I committed to this challenge, and so I am following through with it. And so what I try to instill in my kids is that they are number one in my life. But sometimes I have other things that I have to come up and I have to do, right? And it's about following through with your commitments. But you still have to be aware that kids don't get the whole job thing. They don't get why you work. They're kids, right? And so they don't. The difficult part of running a business is when you're in the middle of running that business and they come to you and they say, "Hey, Dad, can you do this?" Or, "Hey, Mom, can you come do this?" They don't get that there's a bigger picture of other things, adult things going on, right? And I'm no counselor. I'm no perfect person or anything like that. But, you know, it's something you have to be aware of, that time is precious. Time is something that you never get back. And that try not to shoo away them in that moment, because they will remember it. Not necessarily a bad way, but it's a trained habit they're going to get, like, you know, subconsciously. And again, I'm not a counselor. I'm not perfect by any means. And I have my fair share of times where I'm like, "Oh, just give me another 5 minutes." But if you can try to carve out those moments that you can dedicate to the family, and that's what I do. Because I own a business, I have flexibility. I have flexibility on my hours, and I sometimes work later at night because of that. And during the day, here's my typical day. I wake up at 6:15 in the morning, typically go to bed about midnight. Wake up about 6:15, 6:30 in the morning. My wife is already off working in the VA. She works in the VA and in the radiology department. And so I take the kids to school in the morning. And they go to a kids program in the morning, just because I need to start early. Go off and get me some coffee. And if I feel healthy that day, I won't get a breakfast sandwich, and I will do a walk in the morning. And then my day started by 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:15 in the morning, typically. I'd love to be able to start earlier, but I'm a night owl. As you can see, I'm finishing this podcast at 11 something at night. You know, and then as the day progresses, by the end of the day, my wife picks up the kids, and this is all coordinated because we have a calendar, because everybody knows what they're doing. Everybody can coordinate things. And then we've got after school programs, we've got sports, we've got baseball, we've got gymnastics, we've got cheer, all of those things, ballet and tap and all of those things that happen. You know, I envision like this, you know, puppeteer, like pulling the strings, right? Sometimes those strings break and fall. Sometimes you see an amazing show. We're all human. And so give yourself leeway to make mistakes and enjoy the ride. I definitely try to do that, but I'm by no means perfect. And so today I just want to share my journey about being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, while having 4 kids, a wife, and a crazy life. So Until next time, this is Sean McMeen. Have a blessed day. I will talk to you on the next episode.
You've been listening to the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast. Sean's not here to just talk the talk. He's walked the walk. With a track record of helping over 70 damage restoration companies and engaging in over 500 conversations with industry owners, he's seen it all. From digital marketing triumphs to the most ingenious growth hacks, he's got the keys to the kingdom, and he's sharing them with you. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, for more, hit the website at restorationmarketing.com. See you next time on the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast.